If you're about to say this prayer in your language instead of Hebrew, pause. Because the original tongue carries frequencies your translation cannot touch. I am Rabbi Shimon. 83 years on this earth, 57 of them studying the hidden chambers of Torah. And what I'm about to share with you today, this isn't theory from a textbook. This is what happened when ordinary people, broken people, desperate people, spoke one Hebrew prayer at dawn for 40 consecutive mornings. 3 weeks ago, a woman from Toronto sent me a voice message at 2 in the morning. She was crying. Not sad crying, grateful crying. She said, "Rabbi, I don't understand what happened. I said the words exactly as you taught. Day 38. My daughter called. We haven't spoken in 6 years. 6 years of silence. She said she woke up thinking about me and couldn't shake it." That's not coincidence. That's spiritual mechanics. Before we go further, if this resonates, press that like button right now. And leave a comment with these 3 words, "Dawn is breaking." Just those 3 words. It tells me you're ready. It tells the algorithm to spread this to someone who desperately needs it tonight. Do it now. Let me tell you why 40 dawns, why Hebrew, why this matters more than anything your pastor or your therapist ever told you about breakthrough. You're stuck. I know you are. Because you wouldn't be watching this video at whatever hour you're watching it if everything was flowing smoothly. Maybe it's the bank account that never grows no matter how hard you work. Maybe it's the relationship that's been cold for so long you forgot what warmth feels like. Maybe it's the medical report that keeps coming back with the same words, the same numbers, the same hopelessness. You've tried everything. You've prayed the prayers your tradition taught you. You've gone to services. You've given to charity. You've read the books about manifestation and frequency and law of attraction. You've done the gratitude journals. You've visualized. You've affirmed. And still, the door stays closed, the phone doesn't ring, the check doesn't come, the healing doesn't manifest, and late at night, when everyone's asleep and you're alone with your thoughts, you wonder if God even hears you anymore. You wonder if you did something so wrong that you're permanently blocked from receiving. You wonder if breakthrough is for other people, but not for you. Here's what I need you to understand. You're not broken. The door isn't locked. You've just been knocking in the wrong language. Let me take you back 3,000 years. Moses is standing at the edge of the Reed Sea. Behind him, 600,000 Israelites. Behind them, Pharaoh's entire army, chariots, weapons, death approaching. In front of Moses, water, deep water, impossible water. The people are screaming. They're panicking. They're saying to Moses, "Were there no graves in Egypt that you brought us here to die in the desert?" They're ready to surrender, ready to go back to slavery, because slavery with certainty feels safer than freedom with uncertainty. And Moses doesn't move. He's frozen. He's a leader, yes, but he's also human. He's also terrified. And in that moment, he does what any of us would do. He prays. He cries out to God in his desperation. And here's where it gets interesting. God responds, but not the way you'd expect. God doesn't say, "Don't worry, Moses, I've got this." God says something that sounds almost harsh. He says, "Why are you crying out to me? Speak to the children of Israel and tell them to journey forward. Stop praying, start moving." But then, and this is the part most people miss, God tells Moses something else. He says, "Lift up your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and split it." Now watch this. The verse in Exodus 14, verse 16. In Hebrew it says, "Vata harem et macha," and you lift up your staff, not maybe lift it up, not when you feel ready, lift it up. No, vata, and you, now, right now, this moment. The Hebrew word harem, lift up, it's the same root as terumah, the offering we bring to the temple. When you lift something up in Hebrew consciousness, you're not just physically raising it. You're elevating it from the ordinary realm to the sacred realm. You're changing its spiritual frequency. Moses lifts the staff, and the text says, "Vayibaku hamayim," and the waters split. Not gradually, not slowly. They tore open. The word vayibaku comes from the root baka, which means to cleave, to rip, to break through with force. This is not gentle. This is not soft. This is violent spiritual breakthrough. This is the universe rearranging itself because a human being spoke in the frequency that heaven recognizes. Now here's what the mystics teach about this moment. When Moses stretched out his hand, he didn't speak in Egyptian. He didn't speak in Aramaic. He spoke the 72-letter name of God that's encoded in these three verses. Exodus 14 verses 19 through 21. 72 combinations of three Hebrew letters each. And those combinations, they're not just letters. They're frequencies. They're spiritual keys. And at dawn, when Moses spoke them, the sea had no choice but to respond. Why dawn? Because dawn in Hebrew is shachar, and shachar doesn't just mean morning, it means the breaking point, the moment when darkness must yield to light, not because light is stronger, but because that's the spiritual law of creation. Genesis 1 verse 3, Vayomer Elohim Yehi or Vayehi or. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. That and there was in Hebrew, vayehi, its instant manifestation, no delay between command and reality. But here's the key. The first light wasn't sunlight. The sun wasn't created until day 4. This was a different light. The mystics call it or haganuz, the hidden light. The light that existed before physical light, the light that carries creative power. And that light, it shows up every single dawn for exactly those first few moments when night surrenders to day. That's your window. That's when the veil is thinnest. That's when Hebrew prayer doesn't just reach heaven, it restructures reality. 40 days. Why 40? Because 40 in Hebrew numerology is the number of transformation. Noah's flood, 40 days. Moses on Sinai, 40 days. Elijah's journey to Horeb, 40 days. The spies scouting the land, 40 days. It takes 40 days for a human embryo to develop recognizable form. 40 is the incubation period for miracles. I've seen this pattern repeat over and over, not once, not twice, hundreds of times now. A man in Florida, 67 years old, lost his business in the pandemic, savings gone, house about to foreclose. He found this prayer. Day 1, nothing. Day 10, nothing. Day 23, a former client he hadn't heard from in 8 years called out of nowhere. Said he'd been thinking about him, needed consulting work. By day 40, he'd signed contracts worth more than he'd made in the previous 3 years combined. A woman in Manchester, 72 years old, estranged from her son for 9 years. 9 years of silence over an argument she couldn't even remember the details of anymore. She spoke the prayer in Hebrew every dawn, even though she didn't understand the words. Day 34, her son showed up at her door. Didn't call first. Just appeared. Said he woke up and felt like his heart was being pulled toward her. A couple in Jerusalem. Married 41 years. Hadn't been intimate in over a decade. Roommates, not lovers. She started the 40 days. Didn't tell him. Day 28, he bought her flowers for no reason. First flowers in years. Day 40, they cried together and talked for 6 hours. They're renewing their vows next month. This isn't superstition. This is spiritual law. Now let me teach you how to do this correctly, because details matter. If you do this carelessly, you'll get results carelessly. If you do this with precision, you'll get results with precision. First, preparation. You need to identify your 40-day window. Choose a start date. Mark it. Day 1 is day 1. If you miss a morning, you start over from day 1. This isn't punishment. This is mathematics. The spiritual equation requires 40 consecutive connections at dawn. Second, you need the prayer itself. The prayer is Modeh Ani. It's 4 lines. In Hebrew it goes, Modeh Ani lefanecha, melech chai vekayam, shehecha zarta binishmati bechemla, rabah emunatecha. Let me break this down for you because every word is a key. Modeh Ani, I give thanks. But mode isn't just thanks. It comes from the root yada, which means to acknowledge, to confess, to throw your hands up in surrender. You're not just saying thank you, you're saying, I acknowledge that I am dependent. I acknowledge that everything I have is a gift. Lefanecha. Before you. But the word panecha means face. You're giving thanks before God's face to face, not distant, not abstract, intimate, personal. Melech chai vekayam, living and enduring king. Chai means alive, right now, not a God who was, a God who is. Vekayam means established, permanent, unshakable. While everything in your life feels unstable, you're anchoring yourself to the one thing that cannot be moved. Shehechazarta bi nishmati, who has returned my soul to me. This is the nuclear core of the prayer. Every night when you sleep, your soul ascends. It goes back to its source. It gets recharged, recalibrated, cleansed. And every morning, God personally returns it to you. Not automatically, personally. That means every single morning you wake up, you've been chosen again. You've been deemed worthy again. You've been given another chance. Bechemla, with compassion. Not with judgment, not because you earned it, because of chemla, divine mercy that flows regardless of your mistakes. Rabba emunatecha, great is your faithfulness. Not great is my faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. Even when I'm unfaithful, you remain faithful. Even when I forget you, you remember me. Here's how you do this practically. Set your alarm for dawn, not sunrise, dawn. That's approximately 30 to 45 minutes before the sun breaks the horizon. You can check exact dawn time for your city online. Search astronomical dawn plus your city name. Day 1 through 7, speak the prayer in Hebrew. Don't worry about perfect pronunciation. God hears intention before accent. Say it out loud. Say it slowly. Say it like you mean it. Then sit in silence for 5 minutes. Just sit. Don't ask for anything yet. Just sit in the awareness that your soul was returned to you. Day 8 through 14. Add your specific petition after the prayer. But here's the trick. Don't ask for the thing. Ask for the opening. Don't say, give me money. Say, open my eyes to see the provision you've already placed in my path. Don't say, fix my marriage. Say, soften my heart and my spouse's heart toward each other. Day 15 through 21. This is where most people quit. Because this is where it gets dark before it gets light. You might feel worse. You might face unexpected obstacles. This isn't the prayer failing. This is the prayer working. You're being tested. Will you continue when you don't see results? Will you trust when nothing makes sense? Keep going. Day 22 through 30. Momentum builds. You'll start noticing small things. A phone call, a thought, a memory, an opportunity. Don't dismiss these as coincidence. This is the universe responding. Day 31 through 39, the acceleration phase. Things move faster now. Connections happen. Doors open. People reach out. Stay steady. Don't get distracted. You're 9 days from completion. Day 40, the breakthrough day. Don't put pressure on it. Don't expect fireworks at midnight. Just complete the cycle with the same faithfulness you started with. The breakthrough might come on day 40. It might come on day 42. It might come on day 53. But it will come. Because you changed your frequency, and the universe must respond to your new frequency. One warning. Do not speak about this while you're doing it. Don't post on social media. Don't tell your skeptical friend. Don't explain it to people who will mock it. Guard this like a seed in soil. Seeds grow in darkness and silence. Announce your harvest, not your planting. Another warning, if you miss a dawn, you must start over. I don't make the rules. This is how the spiritual mechanics work. But here's grace. If you wake up late, if you miss the exact dawn moment, you have until 3 hours after dawn to still speak it and have it count. After that, the window closes. Start again tomorrow as day 1. Let me tell you what's going to happen if you do this faithfully. By week 2, you'll notice you're sleeping better. Not because of the prayer directly, because your soul knows it has an appointment at dawn. It begins to prepare differently. By week 3, people will start commenting that you look different. They won't know why. You'll know. By week 4, situations that seemed impossible will begin to shift. Not always in the way you expected, but they will shift. And on the other side of day 40, you won't be the same person who started. You can't be, because you've spent 40 consecutive dawns acknowledging that your life is a gift, that your breath is borrowed, that your existence is not random, and that recognition, it rewires your spiritual DNA. So here's what I need you to do right now. First, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. This channel is where I release the teachings that most rabbis won't touch. Second, comment below with those 3 words. Dawn is breaking. And third, commit. Choose your day 1. Mark it. Protect it. Honor it. 40 days from now, you'll either be the person who watched this video and did nothing, or the person who watched this video and everything changed. The prayer is the same for both people. The dawn comes for both people. The difference is who shows up. Let me close with this blessing. May the God who split the sea for Moses split every obstacle in your path. May the dawn that breaks darkness break every chain that's held you captive. May the prayer that's been whispered for 3,000 years find your lips and unlock what's been locked for too long. May your 40 days become your turning point. May your testimony become someone else's hope. And may you walk from this moment forward knowing that you are seen, you are known, you are chosen, and you are loved beyond measure. Your soul is the blueprint. Your life is the construction. Shalom, my friend.